cheapest, flakiest wrestling.
I've not heard that jingle in years.
Taste like wrestling.
God.
Never tasted.
What are you doing to my brain?
Never. Only the crumb. Here's your wrestling news. Keith Lee has been pulled from WWE television with some potential changes coming to his character. NXT have scrapped an advertised title match. And which WWE star never wants to work with Becky Lynch again? We'll find out in a bit. We start with Keith Lee news. I'm always nervous when we start with Keith Lee news.
Yes, yeah, it just makes you so apprehensive, doesn't it? Because you just want the best for Keith Lee. We just want the best for him. We just want the
best for our boy. I feel an affinity with Keith Lee. Ross and I did the song that you did an incredible music video for, and I feel an affinity with him. So when I read stuff like this, I get a bit nervous. So PW Insider saying that over the last several weeks, Keith Lee has been off television. As we've noticed, he beat Karrion Kross and then vanished into magnificent air. He's been working dark matches on Raw and SmackDown as of late, and PW Insider say that the reason for this is WWE have taken Keith Lee off television as a way to refine Lee and decide what works best for him going forward.
I think, with somebody who's been absent from TV for quite some time, it makes sense to maybe reassess the plans you originally had in place, and that's why I imagine things might have gone out the window a little bit, over the time that's elapsed. But it means that from what I'm taking from this is just that they're going to kind of put Keith Lee up against a series of opponents and go, okay, well, that was cool. Maybe we can do something there. Maybe we should do more of this. Maybe it should be more power or more agility, or I think it might be one of those situations.
I feel like Keith Lee is a gift in the sense that when you talk about do we need more power? Do you need more agility? Yeah. He's a big, beefy boy that can fly like a little one.
Yeah.
Like that, ta-da!
It's just
money!
all-round, package there that you can then hone in on certain parts of in order to gain a certain reaction from the crowd. If, you want to take his character one way or another, I think dark matches are a good way to just gauge a bit of a crowd response or, see how that exchange works in the ring. What does it look like if you do it on this side? What happens there? I think it might be more that kind of refinement rather than get back to the PC.
Yeah, I'm just worried that they just initially when Keith Lee came in, they stripped him back of so much.
Yeah.
That let's not lose sight of what Keith Lee is. He's a big lad that can do some amazing things.
And that's the other side of the coin, isn't it? When you hear the word refinement, it could mean anything. He could come back with, a completely different outfit and name and, have a completely different gimmick to what he'd usually have because it is WWE and that is always a merited fear. But, fingers crossed, they do know what they have on their hands in Keith Lee, one of the best all-round wrestlers in the world today. Coming soon,
Keith Lee, the wrestling postman by the name of David Lockett. Don't do it. Over to New Japan. It's been a rough time for the last 18 months for New Japan Pro Wrestling, as it is with many places, but still lots of issues regarding COVID there. Two big names have been testing positive for COVID, haven't they?
Yes, so this is from New Japan themselves, and they've reported that two wrestlers, Shingo Takagi and Bushi, who presented with fever and missed their match on the day of the August 15th event, were immediately tested in accordance with COVID protocols, with the tests returning positive. Now, under medical advice, they are isolating and receiving appropriate treatment. They have, because of this, been removed from the Summer Struggle Tour on Sunday, and in the days since, 6 other wrestlers have been removed from the tour due to COVID-19 contact tracing, and those are, and this is a lot: Tetsuya Naito, Sanada, Evil, Yujiro Takahashi, Gedo, and Dick Togo. So pretty much all of LIJ are kind of, Naito, Sanada, you've got Evil from Bullet Club, Gedo, Dick Togo, Bullet Club, and this is the thing, isn't it, with contact and it's how it spreads, so it's a matter of safety, and it's just one of those crap things on top of 18 months of crap things.
So, I mean, it's good to know that Tagaki and Bushi are okay. They're at home and they're resting up. They should be fine. For Wrestle. They should be all right for Wrestle Grand Slam.
You'd think so. It's just you've got to make sure that the situation's being handled. Everybody's fine. Everybody's clear. Nobody's suffering any long-term effects. That sort of thing. So, fingers crossed.
We'll see how we go. Last night, a Cruiserweight title match was scrapped on NXT. We were set to see Kushida versus Roderick Strong, and Kushida was not cleared to perform last night. We don't know much more other than that. And instead, Roderick Strong took on, in an open challenge, Ilya Dragunov. They had a fun little match.
Nice. I'll have to check it out.
They had a belter little affair, but this means that there was no NXT title match. Now, the concern here, more so than any other time, is that NXT are now going back into a process of taping week to week to week to week.
Yes.
So if Kushida, I believe that the plan is to tape a bulk of stuff following Takeover. So if Kushida's not clear for that could take Kushida off telly for
quite some time. Yeah. So fingers crossed Kushida is back and fighting fit for that, because once that's locked in, they can maybe insert some promos and some vignettes at a segment or two backstage, but there ain't much else they can do in ring.
Ilya Dragunov's opponent for Takeover on Sunday is, of course, Big Daddy Volta. I'm so excited. It's going to be a beast of a match.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely filthy.
He was he was talking to Alex McCarthy of Talk Sport. Was Volta about a potential move to America. He said, "I'm happy with the situation I'm in now. I'm the only guy who holds a European Championship in WWE. A bit rude, the NXT UK Tag Team titles and the NXT UK Women's title." He says, "I'm a representative of European wrestling. To be authentic with that, I've kind of got to live in Europe. For now, I focus on being the NXT UK champion, and I have a big match coming up with Ilya on Sunday. The outcome of that is going to decide which direction I go in my future. So I can't even make any assumptions or speculations myself." Now, normally, we'd say, the story's been like Volta doesn't have a desire to move to the States.
Yeah, that's kind of been the story going around since Walter signed with the company, was that it was very much going to be, a Europe-centric thing, and that he was invested in training and just having his life over here.
This kind of hints that might not be the case anymore.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I read into there.
This is it, situations change and people are ready for new adventures as the years roll on. And, if you've kind of reached a point where it sounds horrible, but you've kind of hit the ceiling in NXT UK, and the time is to, it's here to venture west and go to America and go from there. Then, he doesn't have to move there full time, but maybe we see him pop up more and more and more, and then maybe we see him over there. But the interesting thing here is that I still don't understand why it wasn't just a European title. Because I get NXT
European title.
Yeah, like NXT UK, I get it, but I thought we were going to start expanding out, and then we need to bring back the European title.
I'm down for that.
Yeah.
I'm down for that. On the classic SmackDown review this week, we watched the European champion William Regal versus The Rock. That was a thing that happened in 2000, and I love the European title.
It was definitely like the weird matchup belt, wasn't it?
Best European champion ever, go.
British Bulldog, man.
Wrong
Come
answer.
on.
Naked Midian. Or just regular Midian. He kept his clothes on during that particular run. Hey, talking of championships, gold medalist Gable Steveson is in the news today. He's already done the wave towards WWE.
And the flip and everything else, and the gold medal.
And he's popping to see us at SummerSlam. He's going to see WWE at SummerSlam. And Seth Rollins, according to TMZ, is willing to train Gable in the art of sports entertainment if he's willing to move to Iowa. So basically, come around my house for a bit, and I'll teach you the wrestling.
Well, it's one of those things. There's probably nobody who can better teach you the current WWE modern day style than somebody who's been at the top of a company that's dominated by that style, and Seth Rollins is probably a really good trainer toward this sort of thing, because his just general wrestling experience and then the WWE experience on top. I think it'd be quite cool. And you'll get to learn how to laugh like Cyril Sneer.
Certainly. There's lots that Steph can teach him, including that incredible laughter.
Gable Steveson just has his normal voice, and it comes to the first promo and he cuts a laugh and he's just like...
I hope that happens. Please let that be a thing. Seth Rollins, our final story today. He has said he never wants to work with Becky Lynch again. When talking to sports media, Seth Rollins said, which, according to Gruntilda, means we tried to make the best of it, but I don't think either of us were terribly comfortable with working together on WWE television. Even though we have incredible chemistry as people, as performers, our characters never really vibed on screen. It's one of those things where if she comes back, we'll stay away from it and we won't touch it.
Don't blame them. Don't blame them. It was creepy. The way the company kind of fixated on it, the second that they were ready to announce it publicly, then it was like, bah, 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 they're together, they're together, they're together. Here's a forced moment. Here's a forced moment. And it was like, just let them do their own thing. Like, just because they're a couple doesn't mean you have to make them one thing. They're not like a double set toy pack.
Vince
like,
was there with the action figures going,
he was literally sellotaking two boxes together going, $45. Like, just, you know, that sort of thing. There's t-shirts with them just like hugging or something. Like, it's just understandable. Like, you can't, it's such an awkward proposition to just put your personal life out there like that and then have it then turned into TV melodrama. And then what, oh God, it just, yeah, that whole thing made me cringe, and I'm happy that they're kind of like, oh God, no, that was awful.
And they ain't touching that with a barge pole ever again. More news as we get it later on. Stay safe. Love you, bye.